Good morning, class. Welcome to Criminal Justice System Offline Week number 6 and 7. So last time we have discussed the law enforcement pillar, that is the prime mover of the criminal justice system. Especially it is the work of the police. Now, we'll proceed to the second pillar, and that is the prosecution pillar. Okay, I will just share to you the screen for the second pillar of the criminal justice system. Okay, share na yan. Yan. So, in the second pillar of the criminal justice system, and that is the prosecution pillar. And we all know that the first pillar of the CJS is the law enforcement or the police. Alam naman natin, pag mayroong krimen na nangyari at nahuli yung kriminal, kasi trabaho po yan ng mga police, nahuli po yung mga kriminal at kasuhan. Once na kakasuhan yan, syempre, dadaan yan sa second pillar of the criminal justice system, and that is the prosecution pillar. Okay, prosecution pillar. And prosecution, the National Prosecution Service, meron po tayong the National Prosecution Service under the Department of Justice occupies the forefront of the prosecution pillar. It is the main prosecution body of the government to prosecute all violations of criminal laws to help keep the peace and ensure order. Kasi, paano nga naman nahuli mo yung criminal tapos hindi mo kakasuhan? So what will happen? The country will be in chaos. Kaya importante po minsan yung prosecution. Hindi naman po lahat ng mga inuuli ay may kasalanan, di ba? Yung iba naman ay walang kasalanan. That is why dadaan yan sa prosecution, whether to continue the case or to not continue the case. So ano ba yung prosecution? So prosecution may refer to the agency responsible in presenting the government's position in criminal case and evaluating the pieces of evidence presented by the law enforcement. Because we know that when a crime was committed, then the first pillar will move, and that is the police. And once the police arrested the criminal, then they will file criminal complaint to this individual. Once na nakapag-file sila ng complaint, then ibibigay yan sa prosecutor. At alam naman natin yung mga prosecutor, prosecution. Prosecutor ang tawag doon sa mga tao. Noon ang tawag sa kanila, mga fiscal. Pero yung mga iba kasi, sinasabi nila, prosecutor. Kapanuti kwartada, medyo hindi na itutuloy yung kaso. Or fiscal ko na medyo pwede nilang baguhin. Pwede nilang i-recommend for dismissal or hindi yung kaso. Kaya na tinawag nilang prosecutor fiscal. Pero actually, kukunti lang naman yun. Wala na yun kasi natatakot sila sa kay Duterte. So in the prosecution, sabi ko nga, they are responsible for evaluating the evidence that was being given by the police officers. Ano ba yung mga prosecutor na yan? Ito yung mga tinatawag nating taga-usig. Taga-usig. So in the prosecution arm o taga-usig ng gobyerno ay ang National Prosecution Service. Sa NPS ay nasa ilalim po ng Department of Justice. So the National Prosecution Service runs a nationwide organization of state prosecutors, regional prosecutors, provincial prosecutors, city or municipal prosecutors. And they are tasked to undertake the investigation and prosecution of cases involving violation of law. Yeah, tinatawag nilang taga-usig. Sa hukuman, sila po ang uusig daw sa sino mang nasasakdal. Katunggali sila ng mga abogado ng sino mang nasasakdal. Yung prosecution. Kasi nga, you violated the law, sila po yung mga parang attorney din ng gobyerno natin. May taga-usig sa lahat ng antas ng pamahalaan, sa rehiyon, sa lalawigan, sa lungsod at sa bayan. We have the Public the regional prosecutor, public prosecutor, mga city prosecutor, ganyan. So the prosecution is the legal process or methods by which an accusation is brought to the court for proper adjudication or arbitration. Mga prosecution po yan. Malalaman po nila yan. So ano pa yung mga ibang taga-usig? I will just state the other prosecution dito po sa ating bansa. May iba pang taga-usig na natasang humawak ng mga special cases, special na kasong hindi sakop ng mga nabanggit na taga-usig tulad ng Office of the Ombudsman para sa mga anti-graft and corrupt practices. Ito ang may sakop sa preliminary investigation and prosecution of all cases cognizable by Sandigan Bayan and file information on violation of RA 3019, that is the anti-graft and corrupt practices. Hawakan din ng ombudsman ang mga paglabag ng mga opisyal at empleyado publiko. Yan. Public mga servant sa GOCC or government-owned and controlled corporations kaugnay ng kanilang mga trabaho. Ano ba yung mga other prosecutor? Example, yung mga member ng mga AFP na violate sila sa mga articles of war. Yan. Hearing. Yan. The General Court Martial ang uusig at lilitis sa mga militar, mga sundalo, tinatawag nilang Judge Advocate General Service ng AFP. COMELEC, when it comes to violation of the COMELEC laws, di ba? They have the exclusive power to conduct preliminary investigation. COMELEC laws. Special counsels or special prosecutors, special abogado na taga-usig daw ng Secretary of Justice. Nilagay ko lang yan, pero actually, our main concentration bilang isang police ay doon muna po tayo sa mga concentration natin, yung inquest at saka yung preliminary investigation. Yung mga iba doon ay trabaho na po ng iba't ibang ahensya po ng gobyerno pag nag-violate po sila sa articles of war, COMELEC, gano'n. But when it comes to work of the law enforcement, dito po tayo. So once a person was arrested, then kakasuhan niya, they will file criminal complaint to this individual at diretso po sa prosecution. Prosecution or prosecute. Ano ba yan? Prosecution, prosecute. Prosecute to commence and carry a criminal action or lawsuit in the name of the people of the Philippines. Kasi you violated the law of the Philippines, then parang lahat na ng tao dito sa Pilipinas yan. Parang violate mo na yung rights. So ano ba yung function ng prosecution? So the function of the prosecution is to evaluate the police findings referred to them or other complaints filed directly with them by individual person. Ayan, yung sa mga function po ng prosecution. Evaluate nila yung mga evidence. Tama ba yung mga ebidensyang i-present ninyo? Tama ba yung pag-aresto sa mga taong yan? I-evaluate niya. Pag hindi tama, then they will recommend for the dismissal of the case. Kasi walang probable cause to na i-continue pa yung kaso. Kasi you violated the rights of an individual. Sabi, ini-evaluate nila. Ini-evaluate nila yung pagkaka-aresto, ini-evaluate din yung mga ebidensya na ipinasa po ng mga police. Kaya sa prosecution pa lang, medyo pwede na nilang i-recommend for dismissal yung kaso kasi nga illegal yung mga ginawa ng mga law enforcement. Another, file corresponding criminal complaints or information in the proper courts on the basis of the evaluation of proof at hand. And pag sinabi ng prosecution, malakas yung ebidensya na yung taong yan ay talagang gumawa ng krimen, then they will file daw yung corresponding information or criminal complaints doon na po sa korte. And also, prosecute all alleged offenders in the name of the people of the Philippines. Kaya yung prosecution, kaibigan po yan, parang kasama po yan ng mga biktima. Yan, yung mga prosecution. So, ano ba yung mangyayari doon sa prosecution process? So, sa prosecution process, once na nandun na po yung police officer, medyo nag-file na sila ng kaso, yan, magpapala po sila ng complaint. Yung police officer is a sworn written statement charging a person with an offense subscribed by the offended party. Any peace officer or other public officer charged of the enforcement of the law violated. Yan, complaint. A written statement na nasainan ng biktima at sa offended party at saka yung police officer. Bibigay po yan sa prosecution. Ano naman yung preliminary investigation? So, preliminary investigation, it is an inquiry or proceeding for the purpose of determining whether or not probable cause is present sa preliminary investigation. Mangyayari lang po yan, yung preliminary investigation, pag kakasuhan mo po yung tao. Example, mayroon siyang kasalanan, ginawa niya yung kasalanan. Inaresto siya kasi mayroong warrant of arrest, inaresto, then kinasuhan, then idadaan po yan sa preliminary investigation. Ano ba yung probable cause na yan? Probable cause, it is the existence of sufficient ground to engender a well-founded belief that a crime has been committed and the respondent is probably guilty thereof and should be held for trial. Yan po yung probable cause to believe. Ano ba yung tinatawag nilang, ano ba yung purpose ng preliminary investigation natin? So, preliminary investigation is intended to secure innocent against hasty, malicious, and oppressive prosecution and to protect him from open and public accusation of crime. Ano po yung mga purpose kung bakit po nagkakaroon ng preliminary investigation? Baka naman mali, hindi naman siya yung gumawa ng krimen o kaya na-violate mo yung rights ng taong yan, kailangan magkatak muna tayo ng preliminary investigation kasi madami nga namang work ang mga korte para hiringin pa yung kaso niyan. And also intended to protect the state from useless and expensive trial. Ano na po yan ang preliminary investigation? Ano ba yung mangyayari dyan, sir? Ang preliminary investigation. Magkaiba po yung preliminary investigation at saka yung tinatawag nilang inquest. Magkaiba po yun. So under the filing of the complaint, ano bang mangyayari? The complaint to be filed shall be accompanied by the complaint to be filed shall be accompanied by the affidavit of the complainant and his witness and other supporting documents to establish probable cause natin. So, example, karoon na ng yung complainant. Anong ginawa ng complainant? So, he files complaint to investigating prosecutor. Ang mangyayari ngayon sa preliminary investigation, kasi sa preliminary investigation po ay para po sa mga hindi in the act. Ito po yung may mga, sabihin na natin na may mga tao na gumawa ng krimen noon at sila ay kinasuhan at inaresto. So, the complaint to be filed shall be accompanied by affidavit of complainant and his witnesses and other supporting documents. And once na ibinigay yan sa pulisa, then yung police officer naman or individual person, pupunta na po doon sa prosecutor. Malalaman nila if there is a sufficient ground to continue the case or not. If there is no sufficient ground to continue the case, then recommend yan for dismissal. Kaya nga sabi dyan, within 10 days after the filing of complaint, the investigating officer shall either dismiss the complaint if he finds no ground to continue with the investigation or issue a subpoena naman to the respondent attaching to it a copy of the complaint and its supporting affidavits and document. Isubpwena daday jay may nga tao gumawa ti krimen. Yan, dalawa. Anong mangyayari after preliminary investigation? Siya ay gumawa ng krimen. Siyempre, gumawa siya ng krimen, inaresto siya, legal yung pagkaka-aresto. Ngayon, gumawa ng police officer at yung complainant at yung nagko-complain ng complainant ang tawag doon. So, the yung complainant gumawa ng complaint papunta po doon sa investigating officer or the prosecution. Yung prosecution, pag nalaman daw niya na there is no sufficient ground to continue the case kasi mahina yung ebidensya at saka mahina yung ebidensya na magpapatuloy na talagang siya ngayon nagkasala, may istoryada lang, then what will happen? Pwede nilang i-dismiss yung kaso. Pero pag malakas po yung ebidensya, then they will issue a subpoena to the respondent. No respondent na kunada, yung mga gumawa ng krimen. Respondent pa lang ang tawag doon pag nasa prosecutor. And they will issue a subpoena to respondent attaching to it a copy of the complaint and its supporting affidavits and document. Gagawa siya ng affidavit. Ito yung tinatawag nilang counter affidavit by the respondent. So within 10 days from receipt of the subpoena with the complainant and supporting affidavits and documents, the respondent shall submit his counter affidavit. So, sir, paano nga pag hindi natin na-subpoena dyan? Can he be a subpoena? Hindi may subpoena, then they will resolve the complaint based on evidence and the statement of the complainant. Kasi hata nga nag-counter affidavit doon eh. Imbagada nga, jay sikati nag-stop pa kanyada, hamo nga sinumbatan tano, dahil jay subpoena te korte nga agaraming kati counter affidavit, hindi ka nag-counter affidavit, then they will resolve complaint based on evidence that was being presented. Kaya importante po yan. Yung counter affidavit, kailangan mo ng attorney dyan. Can he be subpoenaed? Pag pwedeng masubpoena, then the respondent will give counter affidavit. Parang ganyan na yung mangyayari. At saka, siyempre, the respondent submits counter affidavit at pupunta na po yan sa korte. Then the judge needs clarification. Parang ganyan po yung mangyayari doon sa preliminary investigation. Ang preliminary investigation, pagkulang naman, hindi parang nakukulangan yung sabihin nating prosecutor, pwede po siyang mag-refer for further investigation. For further investigation, pagkulang po yung mga parang ebidensya na magpapatunay na talagang siya nga yung gumawa ng krimen, then magkakaroon ng RFI, refer for further investigation. So the investigating officer shall resolve the complaint based on evidence presented by the complainant. Clarification, so 10 days naman. Within 10 days from the filing of counter affidavit, the investigating officer may set a date for hearing if there are facts and issues to be clarified from a party or a witness. Clarification shall be terminated within 5 days. Tapos magbibigay po ng resolution. Depende sa prosecution. So resolution, ano ba yung resolution na yan? Resolution is to be issued within 10 days from the termination of investigation. The investigating officer shall either recommend the dismissal of the complainant if he finds no cause to hold the respondent for trial, or prepare a resolution and information if he finds cause to hold the respondent for trial. Kaya ganun po yung mangyayari sa prosecution. Kung mahina yung ebidensya, they can recommend the dismissal of the case. Pag malakas yung ebidensya, then they can prepare a resolution and information para i-trial na po yung tao na yan. Ano ba yung resolution na yan? Resolution is the decision of the prosecutor whether the dismissal of the complaint or issuance of information based on the sufficiency of evidence. Yan po yung tinatawag nilang resolution. Sir, ano ba yung information naman? Information is an accusation in writing charging a person with an offense subscribed by the prosecutor and filed with the court. Yan. Pag idiretso ka ng kasuhan sa korte, information na po yun. Pag sinainan po na po ng prosecutor. Iba naman kanina yung complaint. Sign po ng offended party at ng police officer. Complaint. Pero information naman ang tawag pag accusation na in writing, charging a person with an offense subscribed by the prosecutor. Depende po yan sa mga nagsasain. Ano ba yung similarities nila? Complaint and information. So both shall be in writing. Parehas shall be in writing. Similarities, di ba? Both shall be in the name of the people of the Philippines. Kasi nga, binayolate mo yan. And also shall be against all person who appear to be responsible for the offense involved. Distinction. Yan. A complaint is a sworn statement by the offended party. Ito pagkakaiba na, para mas maganda. A complaint is a sworn statement by the offended party. Whereas information need not be sworn to. Hindi na kailangan ng sworn statement. A complaint is signed by the offended party or any peace officer or public officer within the enforcement of the law violated, whereas the information is signed by prosecutor. Kaya pag sinainan po yan ng prosecutor, yan po ay tinatawag nilang information. Pero pag sinain po yan ng offended party at any peace officer, yan po tinatawag nilang complaint. Kaya magkaiba po yung complaint at saka information. Yan. A complaint may be filed either before the prosecutor's office or the court, whereas information is only filed with the court. Yung complaint, mabaling ka yung prosecutor's office, mabaling mo ijay korte. While the information is only filed with the court. So in certain cases, filing of complaint is necessary to conduct preliminary investigation, preparatory to filing an information. Hindi ka po makakagawa ng information pag walang complaint. Kaya importante po yung complaint para po sa preliminary investigation. Yan. Yun ang preliminary investigation. Nangyayari lang po yung preliminary investigation pag hindi caught in the act yung tao. Example, kinasuhan, hindi caught in the act, i-quantitative preliminary investigation. Pero pag caught in the act, inquest ang tawag dyan. Inquest proceeding is a proceeding done by the inquest prosecutor to determine the validity of the arrest. Inaresto nila yung tao. Warrantless arrest. So, ang mangyayari ngayon yan, mayroong requirement period. Yung 12-18-36. 12 hours, 18, at saka yung 36. Under yan sa Article 1 to 5 ng Revised Penal Code. Pag hinuli mo yung tao ng walang warrant of arrest, sabihin na natin warrantless arrest, meron pang 12 hours. 12, 18, 36, depende po kasi yung kaso niya. Pag 12 hours, light penalty. Pag 18 hours, less grave. Pag 36 hours, that is the grave felony. Pag hindi mo pa na-release yung tao niya, hindi pa nakasuhan within 12 hours, example, light felony lang yung nagawa niya, then you are violating now the delaying release of a detained person. Kasi dinetain mo yan. Tapos, yung police, hinuli ka. Nagnakaw ka. Tapos, 5 days, wala pa, hindi pa sila nagpa-file ng kaso, nandun ka pa rin sa detention center. Then, pwede mong kasuhan mo yung police. Delaying the release of detained person. Inquest. Are all person arrested be required to undergo inquest proceeding? Lahat ba ng mga taong na-arresto daw are required to undergo inquest proceeding? No. It is only applicable to person who does not benefited by the warrant of arrest. Lahat. Ito yung tinatawag nilang warrantless arrest. Kaya hindi po lahat ng taong na-aresto ay i-inquest proceeding. I-inquest lang yung na-aresto based sa warrantless arrest. So under the warrantless arrest, if the prosecutor found out that the arrest is valid, he may order the detention of the arrested person and the filing of information before the proper court. And if the prosecutor finds out that the arrest is not valid, he may order the release of the arrested person upon signing a promise to appear. Yan. Pag not valid daw, pag valid, then pwede nila pang i-detain yung tao and file information before the proper court. Pero pag hindi po not valid yung arrest, they may order the release of arrested person. Pwede nilang i-release provided magsasign siya ng promise to appear. Ano ba yung promise to appear na yan? It is a written agreement between the prosecutor and the arrested person that the latter must voluntarily show himself whenever required by the former to make some clarification relative to his arrest. Yan. Ano pang nolye? Ano pa yung nolye na yan? It is a request by the prosecutor to the judge for approval to terminate further criminal prosecution against a suspect. I-terminate na natin, sabi nila. Request by the prosecutor to the judge to terminate prosecution against a suspect. Nolye. Nolye is primarily used to reduce case law. Reduce backlog. Kasi ang dami ng trabaho ng mga sa korte, di ba? Ang dami nilang mga trabaho. So, reduce delays in bringing defendants to trial. Ito. Yung tinatawag nilang nolye. I repeat. So, in the first pillar, may trabaho po ng mga law enforcement. Mayroong tinatawag na sabihin na nating naaresto yung tao. Naaresto ng without warrant of arrest. Without warrant or warrantless arrest. Ang mangyayari ngayon dyan ay inquest procedure. Magkaiba po yung inquest at preliminary investigation. Inquest procedure. Sa inquest procedure kasi, ang gagawin ng prosecution, titignan nila yung validity of the arrest. Titignan nila yung legality of evidence that was collected. They will now determine the validity of the arrest at legality of evidence. Yan, under the inquest procedure. And if they found out that hindi legal yung pagkaka-aresto, then the prosecutor now will recommend for the dismissal of the case. At pag nalaman naman nila na legal or illegal yung ebidensya, still medyo ang gagawin ng prosecutor, i-dismiss pa rin yung kaso. Kaya i-determine yan ng prosecution kung itutuloy yung kaso o hindi kasi gagawa sila ng mga resolution. Or kung na-aresto man, valid, kaso mahina yung mga ebidensya, they will refer RFI for further investigation. Yan, para sa mga may warrantless arrest, inquest. I repeat, pag warrantless arrest, inquest procedure. Tapos, inaresto yung tao, then, we will now deliver the affidavit of arrest or investigation doon sa prosecutor. Then, sa prosecutor naman, was the arrest effected properly? Tama ba yung pagkaka-aresto? Legal ba? No. Pag hindi legal, i-recommend dismissal and release of respondent. Respondent ang tawag doon sa mga taong gumawa ng krimen. Respondent, nandun pa lang sa korte, ay sa prosecution. Pag yung arrest naman ay talagang proper yung ginawa nila, then anong mangyayari? Does the respondent want a preliminary investigation? Kung ayaw niya ng preliminary investigation yung respondent, they will examine the complaint and witnesses. And pag yes naman, if the respondent wants a preliminary investigation, respondent waives yung tinatawag nila ang Article 125. Magkakaroon na po ng preliminary investigation. Or in short, under the what we call inquest procedure, it is only used for those persons who are arrested without a warrant, yung warrant of arrest. Okay? Ito yung tinatawag nila in flagrante delicto, caught in the act. Yan po yung inquest. Ayan. Nasaan na? Ayan, yung inquest, caught in the act or in flagrante delicto. Valid ba yung warrant of arrest o hindi? Yung mga na-detained person, sila po yung mga respondent. Inquest proceeding yan. Pero pag yung tao naman ay sabihin natin kinasuhan, kasi sabihin na natin estafa ng loko, inaresto, tapos kinasuhan, hindi naman caught in the act, then preliminary investigation. Yan. Sa preliminary investigation, titingnan naman nila kung talagang mayroong probable cause to continue the filing of the case or not. Pag mayroong talagang malakas yung ebidensya na ginawa niya yung krimen under the preliminary investigation, yung preliminary investigation. Yan, under the preliminary investigation, kung talagang kasalanan niya, then isusubpuena po yung respondent. Dahil susubpuena para gagawa po siya ng counter affidavit niya. So within 10 days later. Pero pag hindi siya gumawa ng counter affidavit, lahat na ng mga nakalagay doon sa complaint ay i-accept na po ng korte yan. Kasi kamo nga nag-counter affidavit. Importante po yun. Pag sinubpuena ka at mag-counter affidavit ka. Yun po yung pagkakaiba. Ha? Para sa prosecution. Inquest, warrantless arrest, caught in the act, inquest proceeding. While preliminary investigation ay mga hindi caught in the act. Trabaho po yan ng prosecution. Yan po lang po ang mga under ng second pillar natin. That is the prosecution. Okay? And also, prosecution. Stop share muna. And once again, thank you. Alam naman natin na may parating na bagyo ata ngayon. Kare-record lang. And may parating na bagyo. And I hope that safe tayong lahat. Once na nakuha nyo na yung FB, yung flash drive niyo ay safe kayo. And once again, thank you and see you again next meeting. Bye-bye.